So I was thinking of what I should do with the intro of this video, and I thought about maybe saying something like we should start off with, having some fun and looking at the 2025 AFL draft. And then I kind of realized that most people don't consider that fun. They consider fun, to be like going to the casino with the boys on the weekend or gambling all your money away at the local RSL pokies. But you know what? There are some of us who think that looking ahead to the 2025 draft like 8 months early is a whole lot of fun, and I happen to be one of those guys, and I'm sure some of you guys probably are too, even though, now that I've said the RSL idea, that does sound pretty fun as well. But I figured in today's video, it's still a very long time away, but we'll have a very nice early look into the 2025 AFL draft, because there was an article recently posted that gives us an idea of who the top 10 players are going to... What the fuck was that? I don't know if any of you guys heard my dog just sneeze then, but Jesus Christ, it just caused an earthquake somewhere in Asia. Anyway, before my dog rudely cock-blocked my video audio with his hay fever, we're going over the potential top 10 picks of the 2025 draft and just getting to know them, because let's be honest here, as a massive Richmond fan, we're probably going to have at least 5 of these dudes playing for us next year. But again, before we do get into all of that and more, there's still a decent amount of you guys who watch these videos who are not yet subscribed to the channel. So if you could do me a favor and leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and even comment your thoughts and opinions down below. I guess without further ado, we'll get straight into it with the first player here being called, his name is Daniel Anabolic, or Anabolic, midfielder. He's 183 centimeters. Out of Queensland, he's in the Brisbane Academy. So if you didn't think the Brisbane Lions couldn't get more overpowered, well, here they are. It's literally like Arnie back in the day, juiced up to the max and just being peak physical human specimen, because that's what the Brisbane Lions are right now. Again, it says one of the gun midfielders in the crop for next year. Anabolic has already proven his qualities. He dominates as a ball getter for the Lions Academy in the Coates Talent League this year, averaging 28 disposals and 6 tackles, while also having 20 disposals playing for the Allies at the National Carnival. He uses the ball well, has great game craft, and is able to ferry the ball out of contested situations with his hands. Brisbane has another talented academy product on the horizon. Again, life is just too unfair, and if you're Josh Dunkley, I feel bad for you, because you're going to have to go back to those Bulldogs days of having to be the backup ruckman, because at this rate, Brisbane are going to have freaking 12 midfielders contending, I should say, for a spot in the team. So we've got him. We've also got a really nice craft of ruckman in this class. We've got Cooper, Duff, Titler, or Titler. I'm going to call him Titler because Titler just sounds very inappropriate. We got a ruck / key forward, 199 centimeter from the Calder Cannons of Vic Metro. Again, what an exciting talent Duff Titler is shaping to be. Having concentrated on his promising basketball career, Duff Titler is now putting all his energy into making it in the AFL. Brady! He just stole a freaking Christmas ball off my Christmas tree. I feel like this video is just me yapping to my dog. I am so incredibly sorry, guys, but Duff Titler is now putting all of his energy into making the AFL, and the end of his bottom age season suggests he will be well on his way. His breakout game came in just his 3rd appearance for the Cannons, where he kicked 2 goals from 30 disposals and 17 hitouts in a best-of-field display as a roaming ruckman. Across 6 games at the level, he averaged 17 disposals and 15 hitouts, as he shapes as one of the leading tools in 2025. Again, the fact that this guy had 30 disposals, 17 hitouts, and 2 goals is an insane, display. Again, a team like Richmond, who is looking for, I think, their ruckman for the future, I think is going to be very interested in him. They will for sure be looking at him. While you've got Lewis Emmett, who's actually training with the Tigers right now. At 198 centimeters tall, it says that Emmett's end to 2024 certainly caught the attention of clubs. He had some big games playing for Oakley, including a 4-goal effort in one game, 28 disposals and 2 goals the next week, and 22 disposals and a goal the week after that. The mobile big man finishing the year averaging 17 disposals, 13 hits, and more than a goal a game at the Coates Talent League level, and his capacity to get around the ground and use his skills really stood out. Again, those numbers are crazy. Like, the 2 ruckmen in this draft class, they are going to be, I think, scouted and looked at by so many teams, because I know you can get a good ruckman by, just scouting another team and seeing who doesn't get a game for them and, going for that player and then turning him into your future ruck. Again, tons of teams have done that. Gold Coast literally brought in Jared Witts, who was a backup ruckman to Brodie Grundy, and now he's considered by some to be one of the better ruckmans in the game, and he's their captain. So it is achievable, but I think a lot of teams are really going to look at these ruckmen in the draft. You've also got WillDMA, who's an inside midfielder utility, 191 centimeters tall. Again, I don't really rate either of his brothers, but this is a guy who is in contention for pick 1 as we speak. It says, with his 3 older siblings already playing at the top level, Dersma is set to make his own mark, having been ready for the draft age year for some time. Having played for Gippsland's under-18s teams as an under-16s player, Dersma spent his 2024 moving around the ground in different spots, the wing, forward and back. He can also play as a midfielder around the ball. He's a very good overhead mark and has the versatility to play just about anywhere on the ground. Dersma will produce some eye-catching highlights in 2025 and is an early contender for pick 1. Again, I actually watched him play against the Dandenong Stingrays, and what I can say is for about 75% of the ground, he played as an inside midfielder, and as a 17-year-old, was easily one of the best players on the ground, because his tank, I think, just doesn't get talked about enough. He plays as like an inside midfielder, or at least starts there, but then he just moves around the ground so much, and his tank and ability to just move from the forward line to the back line in a very short amount of times with his speed is very, very underrated. And as this thing says, he will often start off as an inside midfielder, but then will go down back to help down there. He can push forward, and he like plays as a wingman because he just moves up and down the ground. He's a really nice two-way runner. So I like his versatility. I like him as a player. I think he's arguably already better than the other Dersmas. I'm just going to put that straight out there. I literally think he's better than the other 2. Probably already. So that's how good this guy is, or maybe that's how much I'm not the biggest fan of the other 2. But yeah, he's a gun, that's for sure. We also got a guy named Max King, who's a part of the Sydney Academy. Again, same name as a player in the league, but it says another Max King looks heading for the AFL, and this version is a bit different to the St Kilda key forward. King, who is tied to Sydney's academy, has plenty of upside. He can move through the midfield, which given his height is a weapon, but he can also be a marking target in attack, and he likes to fly for his grabs. Injury meant he didn't feature in the AFL Under-17s feature game on Grand Final day, but King is a watch to be a player recruiters have in their eyes next season. Again, it says Sydney Academy here, so I'm guessing that means he's Sydney tied. So I guess the Swans get another good player here. We've also got Matt Leray from South Australia, 189 centimetre midfielder. Again, all these midfielders are just tall. I don't know why, but all the midfielders being highly ranked in draft classes as of late, last year and this year, have just been tall players. It says it was a consistent season for Leray and Central District's under-18 side, where he averaged 22 disposals and 5 inside 50s, as well as booting 13 goals from 11 games. A taller midfielder option, Leray has showed he can find the footy with a solid performance on Grand Final day in the Under-17s clash. A week earlier, he had led the Bulldogs' disposal tally with 22 disposals and 1.1 in its 4-point Grand Final loss to Woodville. Again, this is one of the players I actually really don't know much about. I've never seen him play. I don't know much about him, but the fact that he's kicking over a goal a game as a midfielder is definitely pretty handy, so that's good versatility right there. Again, we've got a key forward here named Archie Leoi, I think is how you say his name. Leoi missed the Sandringham Dragons Grand Final win over Greater Western Sydney due to injury. but he had an otherwise promising bottom age campaign as a development key forward. The left footer came back in the next week to kick the match-winning goal for his side in the National Futures game ahead of the AFL Grand Final. He competes in the air, flies for high marks, and has plenty of the attributes you want to see in a key forward prospect. He kicked 13 goals in 9 games with Sandringham's under-18 side. Again, that Sandringham team was just disgustingly good. They are forever disgustingly good. And I think they've won, 3 grand finals in a row now? And the fact is they've got this guy who was on the team and literally didn't even play. And he's a top 10 ranked player for next year. It's insane. Again, we've got Riley Onley now. 194 centimeter midfielder. This is just becoming crazy. There is a point of difference with Onley given his stature as a 194 centimeter midfield prospect. Only played 17 games this season for the Bush Rangers and averaged 17 disposals, and next year he'll have more responsibilities thrown his way. His taste of things this season also extended to only playing 3 games for Vic Metro, including having 20 disposals and 7 clearances against the Allies. Again, that's a good game playing against under-18s competition. Again, another guy I don't really know much about. Dyson Sharpe, though, is someone I do know a lot about because this is a guy that I think at this point in time, if it's not Dersma, he is the number 1 ranked player in this draft class who people think will go pick 1. Again, he's a 188 centimeter midfielder. Sharpe plays with a hard edge that you don't often see for a prospect his age. It is why late in the year, he wasn't daunted by stepping up to play at SANFL League level Central District. That's crazy. Where he performed well in their 3 finals. The bigger-bodied midfielder averaged 27 disposals and 8 tackles and 7 clearances at under-18 level for the Centrals this season, and will be pushing to continue his trajectory and be an early pick next year. Again, 27, 8 and 7 is crazy numbers. It's disgustingly good. He is from South Australia, but I don't think that's going to stop a team like Richmond or anyone like that taking him. But I think it will encourage a team like Port Adelaide and Adelaide to really try and trade up and give away a lot of their assets, because teams will be cautious. They don't want another Jason Horne-Francis situation where the guy leaves a year later. I think even though that was a 1 in a blue moon, teams will still be cautious and teams will offer a lot. But as I said, that was a once in a blue moon type of thing, and I really do hope we never see that in the game ever again, because as we all know, it's not good for the game. But yeah, I think Richmond will highly be looking at this guy. And then arguably the best player in the class, who is number 1 ranked by a lot of people, but he is Gold Coast tied, is Zeke Yand, a 178 centimeter midfielder from the Gold Coast Academy. It was a super season for Zeke the Freak this year, with the youngest brother of Suns defender Bodie showing all his traits as a running, skillful and penetrating midfielder. Yulin plays in that Errol Goulden mould, a small sized magnet who uses his left foot kicking to pierce gaps and set up the play. The Suns Academy talent won the Hunter Harrison Medal as the best player of the Academy Series and also won selection in the Under-18s All-Australian team. Again, this guy's a freak. His literal name is Zeke the Freak, and he plays like Errol Goulden, one of the highest rated players in the game. I don't think he'll go pick 1, obviously, because teams never pick an Academy player at pick 1, unless it was, I think Jamara was the 1 year he got done at pick 1. But yeah, Richmond will probably go, if they do have pick 1, they'll go for a Dersma or a Sharpe. And then whoever has pick 2, I'm assuming will go Yulin, because this guy is a freak of talent, and you're going to want to try and take all of Gold Coast, I think, draft picks if you can. But of course, this is a very interesting thing to see. If you haven't already, let me know all your thoughts and opinions on these players. Who do you guys want to see maybe go to your club and all that type of stuff? I'd very much like to know. Subscribe to my gaming channel, my iOS/Phone channel, and this channel if you haven't already. All the rest will be getting linked down below. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.